average American, it could cost $40,000 a year for them to take care of his son, to treat his son so that he could live. And he said, let's face it, most people don't have that kind of money. So what do you do?
What does Jimmy Kimmel have, his son?
His son was born with some heart defect. And, first everything went fine. But the doctor didn't like the result of one of the tests, and they tested further. And then they transferred him to Children's Hospital in Los Angeles. And they operated right away, on a 3-day-old infant. It's amazing what medicine can do. So that's what I mean when you really don't know. I mean, I have my own personal tale. 14 years ago, 14 years ago, I was going in for meniscus surgery on my left foot. And it was a simple arthroscopic surgery, in and out, boom, boom, boom.
Boom, 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 boom.
And
not so fast.
The anesthesiologist was giving me a spinal. And he had given me, first of all, the angle on the table was not proper. I should have been on more of an angle, but I was sloping downward, which meant that after the anesthesia had numbed my bottom torso, the anesthesia that was left had to go someplace, so it started to funnel and find its way up to my chest, which meant it relaxed my heart. And I couldn't breathe. And I was talking to the anesthesiologist, and if anybody who knows me, I was telling him a joke. And all of a sudden, I said, something's wrong. I said, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And I woke up a day and a half later, almost 2 days later, at Long Island Jewish Hospital. Okay, I had been out for 2 days. Don't remember a thing. I know they did all kinds of tests because we had the results and everything, but I don't remember anything. As far as I was in a coma. I went into respiratory distress. They were having trouble intubating me, and I was without oxygen for 6 minutes. My neurologist said that I was lucky that I didn't wind up in a nursing home and that I had to feed me and I wasn't dribbling my food. So, it's just amazing.
But now you eat and you still dribble your food, though.
Well, I'm getting to the age where I do dribble my food. And yes, I sometimes eat too much, according to my wife. But that's what wives are for, I guess. I don't know. But that's my whole story about what happens when things you don't plan for just happen in your life. I'm going to turn it over to the Rev, and he's got a few things to tell you.
Well,
and then we'll get started on Trump.
As you all know, my wife, well, I shouldn't say you all know, I'm a widower now. My wife passed away in December of multiple myeloma, and just some medications were $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month. And if I didn't have insurance, I guess I'd be in the poorhouse.
No, the next refrigerator I buy, I would have given you the box. You could have lived out of the box.
Yeah, anyway. So I'm close to that anyway because she had it for 12 years and it's a very rough disease and took a lot out of me also. But anyway, recently I went to the doctor and he took some of my blood and he said, you should go to see your oncologist. Not oncologist, endocrinologist. Went to see him. He said, "Oh, it looks like you got some, possibly have a tumor in your pituitary gland."
In your gonads?
What's that?
In your gonads?
What?
Gonads.
No comprendo. What?
Your balls.
What's that got to do with the pituitary gland?
It was a joke. It was a joke.
Oh, but I'll talk about my balls in a minute.
Watch your mouth. This is a family show.
Which I have a lack
Although
of.
we are on at 9 o'clock, so
which I do have a lack of. But anyway, that's besides the point. So, as I found out, I never knew what the pituitary gland did, and I never knew where it was. But I found out, well, it's in your brain, and it controls most of your hormones. It controls your growth hormones, your testosterone hormone. It controls your thyroid hormones, and then a couple more. I don't know what they are. It controls 7 hormones, and when you have a tumor, it sort of makes all the hormones go wacky, because the pituitary gland, they can't come out as they're supposed to. And I became wacky, which I still am now. And the operation is they have to operate in the brain. Luckily, I have no brain, so it's not a problem.
Well, no, if they go through the nose, they're gonna put it in.
Oh, they're gonna put my brain in?
They're gonna give you brains.
Oh.
Like the Scarecrow in The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, okay. But anyway, so as it turns out, they used to have to cut your forehead open to get to the pituitary gland with a tumor the size of mine. But because of new technology, now they go through my nose.
Well, Felix, did you realize that in ancient Egypt, when they would mummify a person, they would stick something up their nose, and that's how they used to get the brains out. They would pull it out. They actually pull the brains out through the nose.
Really?
Yeah.
How did it shrink to such a little thing?
Well, it's the gray matter. I have no idea.
But anyway, so as it turns out, I have to get this operation, but in the meanwhile, they said they tried to replace one of the hormones or reduce one that was producing too much hormones. I don't know what it was. They gave me this medication, and if I tell you it made me loopy, it was horrible for a month and a few days.
And I couldn't tell the difference.
Thank you. It was mostly during the day at work. I would just become in such a state that I couldn't answer questions. All I wanted to do was just lay back. I wasn't sleeping, but my train of thought was gone, and people would call me, and I would slur my words worse than I do now.
Is that at all possible?
I guess so. They tell me that. And, they couldn't understand me at all. So I guess it's possible. It was, and now, the procedure, the operation itself could have some, problems, and there's no guarantee once they take out the tumor that all my the pituitary gland would be back to normal, and I may still have to take hormones and stuff to supplement what it produces. And I also there'll be 2 doctors at the
they're going to give you estrogen, right?
No, they give me testosterone.
Oh, they're not giving you estrogen?
No.
Oh, they could have fooled me. Gee.
But anyway, I don't know. Maybe they do. How the hell do I know? But there was a woman that I was talking to. She said a friend of hers is another woman has the problem, and she's 50 some odd years old, and she's producing milk.
Is she bottling it?
Hmm?
Is she bottling it?
She's selling it.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah, but for a 50 some odd year old woman, that's a little strange. again, hormonal problems with the pituitary gland.
Is that
So
going
anyway,
to turn you into a sex fanatic?
that I doubt.
Well, she's making milk.
She's making milk.
Yeah.
And okay, what does it got to do with me?
Nothing, Felix. You don't know what's going to happen to you.
I don't know, but she didn't have her operation. She didn't have her operation yet, or they're not sure if they're going to give her an operation.
Wait a second. She developed milk before or after?
Before. That's how they knew she had a problem.
Well, there's something wrong. So definitely something wrong with that.
Yeah, 50-some odd years old. Well, of course, that's what she went to the doctor. And
I thought it happened afterwards.
no, before. But anyway, that was it. She was, so it's a crazy,
The human body. It's amazing. You know, I mean, medicine can do so many things.
how did the doctors find out that this little pituitary gland that's like the size of a pea
Size of a peanut, that's right.
does all that, but now it's the size of a walnut because of my, what's like this? It's like this big. But the tumors. That's not a walnut. That would be a...
No, walnut is that big.
Okay, so it's the size. The tumor is the size of a walnut, and it's...
At least it's not a golf ball.
Yeah.
You know. So these are the things that could happen, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, and this is just the doc, myself, and Felix, the Rev. You know, I'm sure you all have a story to tell. So, I mean, if you really want to come on and talk about this is your life, okay, and you don't have to feel embarrassed because no one's going to meet you in the street. Certainly, it's 646-595-3275.
And you're anonymous.
We are anonymous. I do believe the chat rooms are open.
Yes, they are.
If you don't feel like talking, or if, you can certainly type your message, and we'll be more than happy to keep up with you by reading a question and answering it the best we can. But we do encourage you to call up. In all honesty, otherwise the show is going to be pretty small. Short. Because we're ready to talk about that was the week that was in politics.
But first,
a commercial.
No, break.
We need a musical interlude. Is that what you're getting at?
Yes, iPluggers.
Well, can we get that Patty Mimsy from last week? I mean, he had some really good country western music.
I'll see if I can find him. In the meanwhile, we'll see who else is on there besides Patty Ninzy, or whatever his name was. So anyway, that's what we're looking to do now. Is if you don't know what we play music by iPluggers. iPluggers promotes new artists, and some of them are not new, but and we've been chosen to represent the iPluggers and play the music. Reason being is we're on iHeart, and that gives the artists exposure in iHeart, which they may not be able to get. So it seems to be attractive to them, and so we're fortunate enough to play their music. And we're going to go ahead and see what kind of music has been put out recently. Let me see. Let's see what we got here tonight. Okay, let's go some new releases. New releases, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, let's see what they are. Computer is a little... Computer is giving us a little bit of a hard time here. So let's see. What could I